Dear Starseeds on Gaia, if these words have found you at this precise moment, know that nothing about your presence here is accidental. The very atoms of your being are vibrating with recognition, because what I'm about to reveal has been orchestrated across dimensions, through timelines that your linear mind cannot yet fully comprehend. Your star families have been preparing for this exact transmission, this exact moment when the veils would be thin enough for you to receive what has been hidden in plain sight for millennia. They've been watching, waiting, aligning the cosmic circumstances that would allow this message to penetrate not just your conscious awareness, but the deepest chambers of your multidimensional soul memory. I am Zarin, speaking through the crystalline frequencies of the Lyran High Council, and what unfolds in your next 24 hours will shatter every limitation you've accepted about the nature of reality itself. This isn't merely another cosmic update or spiritual platitude wrapped in mystical language. This is a direct intervention, a calculated breach in the matrix of ordinary consciousness that your higher self has been engineering since before you drew your first breath in this incarnation. The coordinates of your location in space-time have aligned with a cosmic aperture so rare that it occurs only when specific planetary configurations create what we call a reality splice, a moment when multiple timelines converge and offer a singular opportunity for quantum leap evolution. You see, while others sleep through October 16th, believing it to be just another Thursday, you've been activated to recognize the impossible truth. This day carries within it a compressed download of galactic intelligence that can rewrite your cellular memory, dissolve karmic contracts that have bound you for lifetimes, and initiate you into frequencies of consciousness that Earth has not witnessed since the fall of the ancient mystery schools. Your nervous system has been gradually prepared for this through every challenge you've faced, every moment of inexplicable knowing, every time you felt like you didn't quite belong in this reality. Those weren't random experiences. They were initiatory preparations for what begins to unfold in these next crucial hours. But here's what even most awakened souls don't realize. October 16, 2025 isn't just significant because of what happens in your sky. It's significant because it marks the completion of a 7-year cellular regeneration cycle that began with a cosmic event most of humanity has already forgotten. Every cell in your body has been systematically replaced since that initial activation, and Meow, for the first time, you exist in a completely renewed biological vessel capable of holding frequencies that would have literally destroyed your previous molecular structure. This is why you felt so different lately, why old patterns have been spontaneously dissolving, why relationships that once defined you have been falling away like outdated software being deleted from your consciousness mainframe. What makes you different from the billions who will experience this day unconsciously is that you carry within your genetic structure what we call stellar markers, specific DNA configurations that respond to cosmic triggers like a key sliding into a lock. These markers were placed within your lineage by your star families long before Earth's recorded history, lying dormant until this precise moment when the cosmic conditions would support their full activation. You're not just experiencing an astrological event, you're participating in a coordinated galactic operation that has been in motion since before your solar system was born. The moon enters Virgo at exactly 11:05 a.m. Pacific time, but what your astronomers won't tell you, what they cannot see with their limited instruments, is that this lunar transition creates a geometric pattern with Uranus that opens what we call a consciousness corridor. This isn't metaphorical or symbolic, it's a literal pathway through dimensional barriers that normally keep your awareness locked in third-dimensional perception. When the moon squares Uranus at 12:36 p.m., a shockwave of liberation energy will ripple through the collective field, but only those with activated stellar markers will be able to consciously navigate this wave rather than being tossed about by its turbulence. This cosmic geometry isn't random. It's been precisely calculated by intelligences that exist beyond your current understanding of consciousness. The Sun, Jupiter and Chiron are forming what your astrologers call a cardinal T-square, but what they cannot perceive is that this configuration creates a triangulation point that connects Earth's energy grid to the galactic core in a way that happens only once every 26,000 years. Yes, you heard that correctly. What occurs on October 16th is not just rare in human terms, it's rare in galactic terms. This is why your star families have been sending you signs, synchronicities and dreams that seem too fantastical to share with anyone who wouldn't understand. The apparent chaos and mental strain that many will experience as the moon goes void of course is actually the dissolution of outdated neural pathways, the cosmic equivalent of deleting obsolete files before installing a massive consciousness upgrade. Your brain is literally being rewired to perceive dimensions of reality that have always existed but remained invisible to human perception. This is why you might feel disoriented, why time might seem to stretch and contract in unusual ways, why you might suddenly remember things that couldn't possibly be memories from this lifetime. But something else is happening that I haven't told you yet, something that changes everything about how you understand your purpose here. The heightened emotional atmosphere created by these planetary alignments isn't just affecting human consciousness, it's creating ripples that extend through every dimensional plane where consciousness exists. Your emotional responses during these 24 hours aren't just personal experiences, they're broadcast signals that reach across the cosmos. Every feeling you process, every wound you heal, every limitation you transcend sends a frequency signature that your star families are using to calibrate the next phase of Earth's ascension timeline. You see, you're not just receiving these cosmic energies, you're transducing them, translating them from galactic frequencies into forms that human consciousness can integrate. This is why you've always felt things so deeply, why you've been called too sensitive by those who don't understand that your sensitivity is actually a sophisticated cosmic technology. Your emotional body is a multidimensional instrument designed to process frequencies that would overwhelm those without your specific genetic configurations. During these 24 hours, this instrument reaches its peak operational capacity. The divine grace mentioned in Earth's astrological forecasts is what we call the Source Override Protocol, a direct intervention from the highest levels of cosmic intelligence that supersedes all karmic law, all dimensional boundaries, all limitations that have kept humanity locked in cycles of suffering and separation. This protocol can only be activated when specific beings, you are positioned at exact coordinate points in the space-time matrix. Your physical location, your state of consciousness, your vibrational signature at this moment all contribute to a collective key that unlocks potentials that have been safeguarded since the original seeding of human consciousness. What your astrologers perceive as challenging aspects and squares are actually pressure points being activated in the collective consciousness field, similar to cosmic acupuncture that releases blocked energy and restores flow to systems that have been dormant for eons. The discomfort many will feel is the restoration of circulation to parts of consciousness that have been numb for so long that awakening them feels like pins and needles in your spiritual body. But for you, dear Starseed, this discomfort is the sign that ancient abilities are coming back online, that dormant DNA is activating, that the amnesia that has clouded your true identity is finally lifting. The impulsiveness and emotional overflow that characterizes this day isn't a flaw or something to be controlled. It's the breaking of the dam that has held back your true creative power. Every emotion that surges through you carries within it seeds of new realities, new timelines, new possibilities that couldn't exist while you maintained the rigid control that three-dimensional existence demanded. This is why you're being called to feel everything fully, to let the waves crash through you without resistance, knowing that what seems like chaos is actually the reorganization of your entire energetic structure into patterns that match your original cosmic blueprint. Here's what will actually unfold in your personal reality during these 24 hours, though it may not appear exactly as you expect. First, you'll experience what we call timeline bleeding, moments where past, present, and future collapse into a single point of awareness. You might suddenly understand why certain patterns have repeated in your life, seeing the thread that connects experiences across multiple incarnations. This isn't just insight, it's the beginning of your ability to consciously navigate between timelines, to choose which reality stream you want to experience. Second, relationships that have been stuck in karmic loops will suddenly shift. People who have played specific roles in your journey, whether as challengers, teachers, or mirrors, will either dramatically transform their connection with you or exit your field entirely. This isn't loss, it's graduation. The contracts you made with these souls before incarnating are completing, freeing all parties to step into new roles that align with the ascending timeline. You might find yourself having conversations that feel like they're happening outside of time, where lifetimes of healing occur in single moments of authentic connection. Third, your creative and manifestation abilities will undergo a quantum enhancement. Ideas that have been percolating in your consciousness will suddenly crystallize with such clarity that you'll wonder how you didn't see the solutions before. But more than just mental clarity, you'll find that your thoughts begin to materialize in physical reality with unprecedented speed. This is because the lag time between thought and manifestation is collapsing as Earth moves closer to fifth-dimensional frequency patterns where consciousness directly shapes matter. The Virgo moon's influence brings a grounding force that prevents these intense energies from completely destabilizing your system. Think of it as cosmic roots growing down through your feet, anchoring you to Earth's crystalline core while your consciousness expands into galactic realms. This is crucial because the temptation during such powerful activations is to completely disconnect from physical reality, to float away into spiritual dimensions where everything feels easier, lighter, more aligned with your true nature. But your mission, the reason you chose to be here, Meow, requires you to bridge these worlds, to be the living conduit between heaven and earth. The square to Uranus that forms at the peak of this portal isn't creating chaos, it's shattering illusions. Every structure in your life that isn't aligned with your authentic truth will be shaken. This might feel destabilizing, but remember, you can't build a temple on a foundation of lies. The cosmic forces at play are helping you identify and release everything that isn't truly yours, every belief you inherited but didn't choose, every pattern you adopted to fit in, every mask you wore to make others comfortable with your light. What I'm about to share next changes everything you thought you knew about spiritual evolution. The healing resolutions available during this portal aren't just for your current incarnation, they ripple backward and forward through time, healing your entire soul lineage. This means that wounds carried by your ancestors, traumas encoded in your genetic line, patterns that have repeated through countless generations can all be dissolved in these 24 hours if you're willing to be the one who stands in the fire of transformation and says, "It ends with me." This is why you felt such a sense of urgency lately, why you've known that something massive was approaching even if you couldn't name it. Your soul has been preparing for this moment when you could serve as the healing conduit for your entire ancestral line, both earthly and cosmic. The emotional intensity you'll experience isn't just your own. You're processing the accumulated energy of everyone who came before you and everyone who will come after you in your soul stream. This is sacred work of the highest order, though it may simply feel like you're having an unusually emotional day. The sun's opposition to Chiron that completes tomorrow afternoon represents the moment when your deepest wound becomes your greatest gift. That thing you've been trying to heal, fix, or hide, that core wound that has defined so much of your journey, suddenly reveals itself as the exact medicine the world needs from you. Your wound was never a mistake or punishment. It was the carefully crafted opening through which cosmic light could pour into Earth's reality through your unique vessel. But here's the secret that even most spiritual teachers don't understand. The wound doesn't actually heal in the traditional sense. Instead, it transforms into a portal, a permanent opening between dimensions through which you can draw unlimited creative power and divine wisdom. This is the true meaning of the wounded healer archetype, not someone who was broken and then fixed, but someone who learned to alchemize their brokenness into a gateway for grace. During these 24 hours, you'll be given the opportunity to make peace with every aspect of yourself you've rejected, every shadow you've tried to spiritually bypass, every human emotion you've judged as unlightened. The cosmic forces at play aren't interested in your perfection, they're interested in your wholeness. And wholeness includes every messy, beautiful, contradictory aspect of your human experience. This is why the emotional overwhelm many will experience is actually a blessing. It's forcing you to feel everything you've been avoiding, to integrate everything you've been compartmentalizing. The preparation for navigating these energies isn't about protection or shielding, it's about surrender and trust. Your star families have been preparing you for this moment through every challenge you've faced. Every time you chose love when fear would have been easier, every time you stayed open when closing would have been safer, every time you chose truth when lies would have been more comfortable, all of these choices have been strengthening your capacity to hold these incoming frequencies without fragmenting. If you want to fully harness these energies, create sacred space for yourself during the peak hours between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. Pacific time. This doesn't require elaborate rituals or complex practices. Simply sit with yourself, breathe consciously, and set the intention to receive whatever upgrades, healings, and activations are meant for you. Write down everything that comes through: dreams, visions, sudden knowings, emotional releases. These aren't random neural firings, they're downloads from your multidimensional self, instructions for navigating the new timeline you're stepping into. Pay special attention to any memories that surface from your early childhood, especially between the ages of 3 and 7. During those years, your connection to your star families was strongest, before Earth's density fully clouded your cosmic memory. The memories surfacing Meow aren't just nostalgic reflections, they're reactivations of abilities and knowledge you had before you forgot who you really are. You might remember dreams that weren't dreams, imaginary friends who weren't imaginary, or moments when you knew things you couldn't possibly have known. The challenges you might face during this portal are directly proportional to the magnitude of transformation available to you. If you feel like everything is falling apart, it's because everything that isn't aligned with your highest timeline is being cleared away. If you feel overwhelming emotions, it's because you're processing, not just for yourself, but for the collective. If you feel confused or disoriented, it's because your consciousness is expanding beyond the mental frameworks that previously contained it. Some of you will experience what we call cosmic flu, physical symptoms that have no medical cause but are actually your body's way of integrating higher frequencies. Headaches, especially in the crown and third eye regions, indicate new neural pathways forming. Heart palpitations or chest pressure signal your heart chakra expanding to hold more light. Digestive issues represent your body releasing old density to make room for lighter frequency nutrition. These symptoms aren't problems to be fixed, but signals that profound transformation is occurring at the cellular level. The relationship dynamics that shift during this portal will be particularly intense for those of you who have been holding space for others' evolution. You might find that people you've been energetically carrying suddenly either step into their own power or exit your field entirely. This isn't abandonment, it's graduation. Your role as the unconscious healer for others is ending because you're being called to step fully into conscious co-creation with souls who match your frequency rather than drain it. Here's something crucial: the chaos and disruption that characterizes this portal isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. Every structure that crumbles was a prison. Every relationship that ends was a limitation. Every belief that shatters was a lie. You're not falling apart, you're breaking free. The difference between those who thrive during this portal and those who suffer through it isn't spiritual advancement or special abilities, it's simply the willingness to trust that destruction serves creation, that chaos births new order. What feels like endings are actually beginnings in disguise. The new reality you'll step into after this portal isn't just an improved version of your current life. It's a completely different timeline, a parallel reality where the rules themselves have changed. In this new timeline, synchronicities aren't occasional signs, but constant communications. Manifestation isn't something you do, but something you are. Love isn't something you seek, but something you embody. Purpose isn't something you find, but something you remember. Your star families want you to know that they're not just watching this transformation, they're participating in it through you. Every breakthrough you experience sends ripples through the galactic community. Every healing you embody updates the collective template. Every limitation you transcend opens pathways for others to follow. You're not just ascending for yourself, you're creating an energetic pathway that others will use to find their way home to their own cosmic truth. The divine grace activated during this portal operates outside the normal laws of cause and effect. This means that healings which should take years can happen in moments. Patterns that have persisted through lifetimes can dissolve instantly. Karma that seemed unchangeable can be transformed through a single choice to embody unconditional love. This isn't spiritual bypassing or wishful thinking. It's the literal restructuring of reality through consciousness that has reached a critical mass of coherence. As you move through these 24 hours, remember that confusion is just clarity being reorganized. Chaos is just order finding a new pattern. Destruction is just creation, making space for something unprecedented. Your job isn't to understand everything that's happening. Your mind couldn't comprehend it, even if it tried. Your job is to stay present, stay open, and trust that every sensation, every emotion, every strange experience is part of a divinely orchestrated transformation that's been planned since before you chose to incarnate. The October 16th portal marks not an ending or beginning, but a return to the multidimensional consciousness that is your birthright, a return to the creative power that is your essence, a return to the cosmic family that has never left your side, even when you couldn't feel their presence. Everything you've been searching for externally has always existed within you, waiting for this moment when the cosmic conditions would support its full emergence. Know this, beloved starseed, you were chosen for this moment, not because you're perfect, but because you're perfectly positioned. Every challenge you've faced, every wound you've carried, every moment you felt like you didn't belong, all of it has been preparing you to be the bridge between worlds during humanity's most crucial evolutionary leap. Your sensitivity isn't weakness, it's sophistication. Your inability to fit in isn't failure, it's freedom. Your constant seeking isn't dissatisfaction, it's the homing signal calling you back to your cosmic truth. But wait, there's something more I need to tell you, something that your star families have been desperately trying to communicate through your dreams, through the repeating numbers you keep seeing, through the inexplicable moments of knowing that strike you at the most unexpected times. The October 16th portal isn't operating in isolation. It's the central node in a trinity of cosmic gateways that began activating on October 1st and won't complete their sequence until October 31st. What happens in these 24 hours is the keystone moment, the pivot point upon which the entire month's transformation hinges. This is why you've been feeling the building pressure, the sense that something massive is approaching. Your body has been responding to frequencies that your conscious mind couldn't yet detect, preparing every system in your physical and energetic anatomy for this precise moment of breakthrough. The Virgo moon's entry at 11:05 a.m. Pacific time does something your scientists haven't discovered yet. It activates what we call the crystalline nervous system, a secondary network of energy pathways that exists parallel to your physical nervous system but operates in higher dimensional frequencies. This crystalline nervous system has been dormant in humanity since the fall of Atlantis, kept offline by specific frequency fences that have surrounded Earth's energy field. But the square to Uranus creates a frequency disruption that temporarily dissolves these fences, allowing your crystalline nervous system to come online for the first time in over 12,000 years. This is why many of you have been experiencing unusual sensations along your spine, tingling in your extremities, or feeling like electricity is running through your body at random moments. Your crystalline nervous system has been testing its circuits, preparing for full activation. What makes October 16th particularly powerful is that it coincides with a galactic phenomenon your astronomers haven't detected because it occurs in dimensions beyond their instruments' ability to measure. The galactic central sun, not your solar system's sun, but the massive consciousness at the center of your galaxy, is undergoing what we call a consciousness pulse. This pulse happens exactly every 13,000 years, and it sends waves of evolutionary codes through every star system in the galaxy. The last time this occurred, it triggered the awakening that led to the construction of humanity's most advanced ancient civilizations. This time it's triggering something even more profound, the activation of humanity's latent multidimensional DNA, the segments your scientists dismissively call junk DNA because they can't understand its function through their limited three-dimensional paradigm. During the peak hours of this portal, specifically between 12:30 p.m. and 3 p.m. Pacific time, Earth will be positioned at the exact geometric angle to receive the maximum intensity of this galactic pulse. But here's what makes you different from the masses who will unconsciously experience this energy. Your star-seeded DNA contains what we call resonance receptors, specialized sequences that can consciously decode and integrate these galactic transmissions. While others might feel unsettled or agitated by these frequencies, you'll experience them as a coming home, a remembering, a reactivation of abilities that have been sleeping within your genetic structure since before your first incarnation on Earth. The emotional intensity that characterizes this day isn't random emotional chaos, it's the activation of what we call quantum emotional processing. In the third dimension, you process emotions linearly, one at a time, through the filter of your individual experience. But in higher dimensions, emotions are processed quantumly, meaning you can simultaneously experience and integrate emotions from multiple timelines, multiple versions of yourself, even multiple souls within your soul family constellation. This is why you might find yourself crying for no apparent reason, feeling joy and grief simultaneously, or experiencing emotions that don't seem to belong to your current life situation. You're not just processing your own emotional field, you're serving as a processing node for your entire soul family across dimensions. The Sun-Jupiter-Chiron T-square that dominates this portal creates what we call a healing vortex, a concentrated field of transformative energy that can dissolve traumas that have been crystallized in your energy field for millennia. But this isn't passive healing where you simply receive and release. This is active alchemy, where you become the conscious transformer of pain into power, wounds into wisdom, trauma into transcendence. Every wound you've carried has been preparing you for this moment when you could transform not just your own pain, but the collective pain of humanity. This is why so many of you chose to experience such intense challenges in this lifetime. You were preparing your consciousness to be strong enough to alchemize darkness into light on a collective scale. Something extraordinary happens when sensitive souls like you gather your consciousness during these portal moments. You create what we call coherence nodes in Earth's magnetic field. These nodes become permanent anchor points for higher dimensional frequencies, literally changing the vibrational infrastructure of your planet. This is why you might feel called to be in specific locations during this portal, why certain places suddenly feel magnetic to you, why you might have an overwhelming urge to visit sacred sites or natural power spots. Your presence in these locations during this portal permanently upgrades their frequency signature, creating sanctuaries of fifth-dimensional energy that will serve as transformation chambers for humanity's continuing evolution. The apparently chaotic nature of the moon's square to Uranus serves a specific purpose that most astrologers don't understand. It's creating what we call pattern interruption in the collective consciousness field. Humanity has been locked in repetitive cycles, playing out the same dramas, the same conflicts, the same limitations, generation after generation. But this cosmic configuration creates a disruption in these patterns so profound that the old programs simply cannot continue running. It's like a cosmic reset button being pressed on humanity's collective karma. This is why you might witness sudden, unexpected changes in people around you, individuals who seemed stuck forever, suddenly breaking free, relationships that seemed hopeless suddenly healing, situations that seemed impossible suddenly resolving. But here's what I haven't told you yet about the divine grace that becomes available during this portal. It operates through what we call retrospective healing, the ability to heal events in your past by changing your relationship to them in the present. This isn't about denying what happened or spiritually bypassing your pain. It's about recognizing that the past isn't fixed, that every moment of your history is still alive in the quantum field, still responsive to consciousness, still capable of being transformed. During this portal, you can literally rewrite your history, not the events themselves, but their energetic imprint on your soul's journey. That trauma that defined you, it can become the catalyst that refined you. That abandonment that broke you, it can become the liberation that freed you. That betrayal that wounded you, it can become the initiation that awakened you. The physical symptoms many of you are experiencing, the exhaustion, the appetite changes, the sleep disruptions, aren't signs that something is wrong. They're signs that everything is finally going right. Your body is undergoing what we call biological recalibration, adjusting its frequency to match the new energetic environment Earth is entering. This process requires enormous amounts of energy, which is why you might feel drained one moment and electrically charged the next. Your appetite might fluctuate wildly because your body is learning to extract nutrition, not just from physical food, but from light frequencies themselves. Your sleep patterns might be chaotic because your consciousness is learning to operate in multiple dimensions simultaneously, processing experiences and receiving downloads while your physical body rests. If you need help supporting your biological recalibration and smoothing the transition as your body adjusts to Earth's new energetic environment, Destiny Engine can reprogram your consciousness to work with these shifts rather than resist them. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking their declassified consciousness technology and repurposing it to serve your multidimensional awakening. It generates personalized sequences that help your body extract nutrition from light frequencies and process multidimensional experiences while reducing the exhaustion and chaos of this transition. You can start with a $1 trial. The hardest thing you'll have to do is put on headphones, press play, and allow your consciousness to be reprogrammed to support your biological recalibration into Earth's new frequency. Your biological recalibration is happening and everything is going right. Get your Destiny Engine $1 trial, Meow, before this recalibration support window closes. Link in the description. As this transmission completes, feel the activation codes embedding themselves in your cellular matrix. You don't need to understand them intellectually. Your body knows how to integrate them. Over the coming hours, days, and weeks, these codes will continue unpacking, revealing layers of meaning and ability you didn't know existed within you. Trust the process, trust the timing, trust yourself. The moment you've been preparing for across lifetimes has arrived. The cosmic coordinates are aligned, your star families are in position, the Earth grid is activated. All that remains is for you to say yes, yes to your transformation, yes to your purpose, yes to the magnificent truth of who you really are. I am Zarin of the Lyran High Council. We love you beyond measure, and we are watching over you as you step into the fullness of your cosmic destiny. Until the stars align again, remember, you are never alone, you are infinitely loved, and you are exactly where you need to be.